the Superman teaser trailer. So I sent that to you. And let me just get your thoughts on
I I think it looks good. I'm not. I've been becoming more of a Superman enjoyer over the years because of my adventures with Superman and all that stuff. So I think it looks good. This is coming from someone though who knows nothing about the comics, has no like real context on what a good Superman in air quotes looks like. But I like the costume design. I like the story they're setting up. I really like this Clark Kent. I don't
it.
know, something about him is just so waggles my finger. I don't know. I don't know. I enjoyed it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I mean, I thought it looked amazing. I'm really excited for this. It comes out July 11th. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna just go through the trailer, point out things that I noticed and why I'm excited for it. So the first thing we see is a shot of Superman falling out of the sky, landing in the snow. Um, laying down like Yamcha after he got blew up by that Cyberman. Um, and I think that showing Superman is indeed not invincible is such an important decision to open up this trailer. He's so often called boring because he's too OP. So it's very smart to show that he isn't all powerful, off rip, just at the very beginning. And then this doesn't happen immediately after that, but like in a continuation of that scene, he whistles and calls for crypto, um, which is another I feel like important moment for the average consumer, where it's like people love cute animals, of course, um, but also having a funny and whimsical concept like a dog with the powers of Superman that is just as good of a boy as Superman is a man will endear a lot of people to this world. So it's great that Crypto's in this movie. Plus, Crypto had a cartoon recently, so I saw the trailer in theaters the other day when I was watching Sonic, and I heard a little kid go Crypto, like kids know who Crypto is. We also there was a Crypto cartoon when we were kids.
Right. It's good to see him make a resurgence.
Um, and then we see several scenes of Clark Kent, like you said, you like this version of Clark Kent, and he's the clumsy and mild mannered reporter, bumbling about, and then so far, I can't speak today. David Cornsweet and the costume, hair, and makeup team have done a great job of making Superman and Clark look different. There's a famous piece of concept art by Frank Quietly, the artist behind All Star Superman, that shows how Clark slouches and makes himself look smaller, and stands tall and straight backed as Superman. Um, and I feel like the difference between Clark and Superman in this movie so far gives those vibes of him purposely making himself smaller. Um, in a YouTube video I watched a couple days ago by a YouTuber named Troy Oboyo 17, he brings up a conversation that a lot of people have been having online about whether or not Superman or Clark are the mask, which is kind of like a spin off of like the conversation about whether Batman or Bruce Wayne is the mask, which he says, Troy Boyle, that they're both the mask. And I couldn't agree more. He pretends to be, clumsy as Clark when he's not because he's Superman. And as Superman, he puts on a brave face and he is a brave person, but he has to pretend to be even more brave than he is to just make everybody feel better. Um, and I feel like he's only truly himself when he's either completely alone, which is why Superman's headquarters is the Fortress of Solitude. He is the only place he can truly be himself. Either that or when he's in a private place with people who know both his identities. Like Superman isn't often able to really be himself, and I think it's a very interesting aspect of the character that I hope they really play on. Um, we also get a glimpse of Clark hugging his father, and normally his dad dies before he goes off to college, so maybe this could be a flashback. But some people are predicting that maybe his father has a terminal illness and will die later on in Clark's life than he usually does. Pa Kent's death is often used as a way to show that even with all his powers, Clark can't stop everything. There are some things that Superman can't do. And we see Lex in all of his bald glory. From my understanding, the actor playing him, uh, Nicholas Holt, um, shaved his head, but he's also wearing a bald cap. So he's like the baldest man on earth in this movie. um, and like I can't wait to see Lex just be the hater that he is, one of the greatest haters in comics. Like nobody runs the game like he does. Like he's up there putting up the most points ever as a hater. Like greatest hater of all
Yeah,
time.
I mean,
He's up there.
if I was double bald, I'd be a hater too. Like,
And I think I talked about it briefly before, but in some iterations, he goes bald from radiation from kryptonite.
that's
So he then
diabolical.
blames it on Superman because he has the
You know
kryptonite
what?
because of Superman.
That's real though. That's listen. If I became as like my girlfriend likes to call it like solar death ray bald, like you're so bald that the light reflects off your head and could kill people with it, a la like magnifying glass to the sun. Like if I became solar death ray bald to no fault of my own because of some other guy, I would want that other guy dead. Like
Like,
he's valid.
man, I love a good hater, man. Just a villain that just hates the main character so much. Like Lex is gonna be so fun, and he looks angry in this. There's a shot where he like has cuts on his face and he's just upset, and I was like, yes, more of that. And finally, in just my little trailer analysis, we see Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, and Miss Terrific, and what looks like they're wearing like a team uniform modeled. It looks like it's modeled after Mister Terrific's costume because Mister Terrific's costume is just pulled directly out of the comics, and then Guy Gardner's and Hawkgirl's costume has their usual colors, but aren't the costumes that they wear in the comics at all. They're instead look like Mister Terrific's costume. So it seems like they're a part of a team. What team that is? There are rumors, but I don't want to say. I don't really want to talk about it because I want to spoil it for anybody. But I'm interested to see what that storyline's about. And we also see a very quick glimpse of Metamorpho, and I did not realize it was Metamorpho until somebody pointed it out on Twitter. And he looks weird, as he should. That's part of his character. He gets like deformed, but decides to be a superhero. So we'll see what they go with that as well. Like, yeah, there's a lot of superheroes in this movie, not just Superman. And I'm really interested to see what they do with them. So I had a discussion with one of our coworkers, Aaliyah, about the trailer, and she was, she had the complete opposite reaction that I did. She feels exasperated with the lack of consistency with DC movies, and while she agrees that the MCU hasn't been hitting lately, at least they're more consistent, and I think that's the general consensus. Because I also had a friend of mine say pretty much the exact same thing the other day. And I hope that James Gunn can bring some much needed consistency to the DCU and show the average person how incredible these characters are. But because I feel like because you're on this podcast with me, I just talk about superheroes all the time. So you're slightly away from the average consumer. Like maybe you would have felt that way if you didn't watch My Adventure with Superman and I didn't talk about comic books with you every other Sunday.
I just feel like, honestly, I'm sick of the consistency. Let's get a little inconsistent. It's fun that way, in my opinion.
That is the problem with Marvel right now. They're too consistent.
I was gonna say, and that's why I don't watch Marvel movies. They're all the same. Like, outside of X-Men. X-Men is doing its own thing, but also we haven't gotten an X-Men God knows how long. So, like, that's a whole separate issue.
Hopefully
but, like,
get that
the consistency.
X-Men 97 season 2 soon.
Man, I can't wait.
I need that in my life.
But yeah, like, the consistency, it annoys me because it's like, if I'm going to go see, which is already out of my gamut of like genres of movies I go to see, I want to see it because it's groundbreaking or does something new with the genre. Like I said, every MCU movie is like the same over and over again. So it's like, whatever, why go see it? It's a waste of money. I'm not going to enjoy it because I didn't enjoy the 17 other ones they released in the last like 4 years, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Like, Clayface movie is going to be a horror movie. That's great. If they keep doing stuff like that where they're diving into different genres, then I think they'll keep people's attention for a very long time. Forever, hopefully. Before we move on to Sonic, I do want to talk about the music. They used the John Williams Superman theme, iconic Superman theme that everybody knows, in this trailer. I hope that's not the main theme for the movie. I hope they make something new for the movie itself. And I'm thinking that's the case because they released the like track that they used for the trailer separately, and it says theme from Superman. It doesn't say theme of Superman. So I think it's just them taking that and using it for this trailer, and that they'll probably have an original Superman theme for the main movie. I hope.
I hope so. That would be more fun.
Yeah, but like I said, at least on July 11th, I'm excited.